Hi, this is Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dragons of Stormwreck Isle from Dungeons and Dragons. This content is part of a playlist. You need to watch it you need to watch it in context where it appears in the playlist. Okay, link for the playlist is below. In my humble opinion, Dragons of Stormwreck Isle contains a secret adventure which is communicated only through the art. And in my humble opinion, that art clearly depicts the D&D 1980s cartoon characters from the Saturday morning cartoon, even though Wizards of the Coast says it's not them. That's my humble opinion. Let's go. Today we're going to talk about DOSI artifact A16. All right, it is an image, and you could see what that image looks like. It's in the thumbnail of this video. Okay, and in that you will see Hank the Ranger, in my humble opinion, and Diana the Acrobat, in my humble opinion. And in there, you will see them in a sea cave. Right now, this takes place 100 years before the player characters arrive in Dragons of Stormwreck Isle. This is the saddest of all the DOSI artifacts. There's so much here. So it's showing Hank the Ranger and Diana the Acrobat, and they are fighting a spore servant octopus. The myconids that live in this cave are basically, there's this dense, this dense, coral that spits out all these spores. And the myconids have subjugated this octopus to serve them, and it is their spore servant. The spores of their mushrooms have made this thing serve them, right? And it is trying to kill Hank the Ranger and Diana the Acrobat. Okay, so basically, what are we looking at here? One, Diana the Acrobat and Hank the Ranger are still friends. They're still together, and they have not returned to Earth. That's information we didn't have before, right? Because it's 100 years before Dragons of Stormwreck Isle, and Dragons of Stormwreck Isle is now. That's like the current D&D time, right? In the Forgotten Realms. We also know that Hank the Acrobat and Diana, Hank the Ranger and Diana the Acrobat left the realm that is the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon realm, right? Which may be Greyhawk, maybe Forgotten Realms. It's not 100% clear. Could be Mystara, but they left it and they got to Forgotten Realms, right? And so they have, and actually, I have a commenter who said, "Hey, I don't think that's Forgotten Realms." I think that might be the case. And to be clear, Forgotten Realms didn't even exist when the D&D cartoon was being made. Okay. Which was 1983. 1983 to 1986 for the show. All right, so that all that's in place, and there's a lot here, right? So we know. So this is important that we know that they're together. Their relationship is still strong. That they're alive and that they can walk between the different realms, right? They've been to at least two realms, right? And so they're planeswalkers at this point, which is really powerful. And planeswalkers is a thing in Magic the Gathering, and because Magic the Gathering has been tied in multiple ways to Dungeons and Dragons, planeswalkers are a thing in the Dungeons and Dragons world. So what are the sad parts? Well, what's really interesting is just that there is evidence that Diana the Acrobat and Hank the Ranger are now level 14, that high up. Okay. What's the evidence for that? Well, one, Diana the Acrobat and Hank the Ranger are ignoring the spores. There are clearly spores being emitted from the fungal things in the sea cave. Just in the picture, you could see it around the orange plants, right? And they're not affected. And the reason why is they've gotten, at this point, I think they have magical and adventure experience that allows them to ignore those spore effects, and that is not easy. They are making their saves and they're unaffected. In addition to that, look what Hank the Ranger is doing. We have seen him use the energy bow in the DOSI artifact images. Okay, in addition, but he's not using the energy bow. He's using the energy bow here not to fire energy, but to actually use a string on the same bow, right, and fire a regular arrow. You know what that means? That means he subclassed into arcane archer. That's fairly high level, very advanced, and now he can use Arcane Archer to bind other spells to regular arrows, and he can use that same energy bow, and he can place a regular string on it, and then when he calls the energy bow, it just burns the string off, and he replaces it later. But he can use the bow to do everything the energy bow ever could do. He can string it and then use regular arrows to fire other missiles that have magically infused spells in them, the way an Arcane Archer does. That's incredible. And here's the saddest part. All that means that Dungeon Master is dead, right? Like, for them to have leveled up this far and to be this comfortable together fighting both environmental hazards and monsters at the same time, in the show they never advanced quickly and they never got that much better because Dungeon Master was always rolling in like Gandalf and helping them. I think there's proof in this image that Dungeon Master is dead. Great image. I'm having so much fun just decoding the hidden secret adventure that Wizards of the Coast, that put here. It's really wonderful. Thanks for going along on this journey with me. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What are you seeing in the image? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. All of that is my humble opinion. What's yours? Let me hear in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.